Esto es Found You.
It's true. Actually, it is true. I was working in a sports store back then, just to not being on the streets, walking around doing bullshit. And I was in charge. I mean, that week the manager told me I'm in charge of the internships, the people who come in. And he walked in one day, 5 minutes before closing time.
It's my style.
And the manager came up and said, "What do you think of this guy standing there?" I was like, "I think he's a nice guy. I know him. Like, I don't really know him, but I see him around, so we should hire him." And from day one, we actually had the same connections, like music-wise, same sense of humor. And within 3 weeks, we both said we stopped working here. We went to something else.
Actually, they fired us.
Yeah. So that's the short story, yeah. We were listening to Eric Murillo a lot, Rogan, Eric E, Steve Angelo, Sepp Grosso back then.
Chucky as well.
Chucky, and it was all like a mixture of things, and we always tried to keep our own style. Rogue as a DJ inspired us a lot, and then the Swedes came together and made some nice banging tracks. The Steve Angelo a lot, and we got inspired by that, like his power of tracks with the vibes of also Dennis Ferrer, Eric Murillo, more the tribal and groovy vibe, but with the power of Steve Angelo's tracks. So that inspired us a lot to go. That's how we built our sets back then, and that's when we started like making music for our sets. And I think we are in the scene right now. What we're doing, I think we're standing out by just doing what we did like 10 years ago, playing groovy, really mixed up between even techno and progressive, bigger, sometimes a little bit EDM tunes, vocalish, and just try to mix it up and make it our style. Yeah, the Trigger is more Latin house. If you ask me what tribal is, I say Richie Santana. What are the Spanish guys?
Justin
Ceballos. That's tribal for me. And Gregosaudo's tribal, but it's more Latin. And if we start making these tribal songs, we can play the other songs anymore from Chess and Ceballos and stuff. So we still DJs. And sometimes we made tracks like tribalish, more. And I don't know if you know Marcusa and Zweepstok from back then on Size Records. But we always try to produce tracks we need on our sets. So if we already play like tracks from Justin Ceballos and stuff, we try to keep it like that, so we still can play tracks from other people, and the peak tracks we try to make our own. So there's more banging, still drummy, but more banging tracks.
But we have some tribal tracks, a lot actually in our set, but we never brought them out. We only play them for our sets.
Yeah. It's funny actually, because we were working on a track together for like 3 years almost, but we were so busy with touring and everything. So we have the same agent actually. So we called our agent, listen, we need a week off. We need to go in the studio and fix the track. And actually the first day we walked in, it took us 3-4 hours.
Yeah, we had a week off and we only did one day actually, a few hours.
Yeah, a few hours. Yeah. It's great fun. I mean, Sander, where he came from, is also a little. People think he was trance, but he was also really tribal and groovy back then. A little bit louder, big room, but it was always groovy. So it really connects in the studio to go in. It was also a little bit fighting because he wants to put like big sounds. I was like, no, we need it more like organic. But it was amazing to work with a guy like Sander in the studio. There's a lot of experience, and I mean, he's making tracks for almost 25 years already, so it was good.
But the best is in the studio with him. He's not even like, you think he's a professor, but he's just like, oh, let's put a little bit of this, maybe a little bit of that. Oh, this sounds good. It's like, really really funny. Yeah.
Do you use another idea for doing this track?
Sorry?
Do you use another idea, like another track, or?
Actually, the drop we had already, like more like we wanted something big but still groovy. And the build-up, actually, we came in the studio to make tracks, and we were just fucking around with keys and played it. Da, 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 da. We didn't even know what it is, so we just called it ABC. But it worked really, it sounded nice, and it works really well. since last year we started working on more songs. So be in the studio with and to just talk about talk about music. You know, talk with people who've been in the industry a lot, even pop artists. So you see another perspective about making dance music. So songs actually. So maybe in the next 2-3 years we're gonna start thinking about an album, because when we gonna throw an album, it has to be us. So maybe even we're gonna make tracks with from 92 BPM, really slow, and then dance. So to show people where we came from, you know. So an album is not something okay, let's do an album. If we're gonna do an album, we're gonna stop touring and gonna be in the studio for 6 months straight and be on every track, put every 100% in every track, and maybe do an album with 12 tracks. But then we need to believe in every single track of it. First of all, I never called the thing EDM. I mean, it's worldwide. When it blew up in America, it's electronic dance music. It's not a negative thing, actually. We play electronic dance music, but EDM got the. If you're talking about EDM right now, you're talking about guys like they play really big room tracks only. You know what I mean? Only the drops and no movements. I mean, it works. It's really nice, but we never did that. So we always say we are house music. And what do I think about EDM? It's huge right now. I mean, with Martin Garrix, Hardwell, W&W, it's huge and it's good for everybody. But what we see right now at the moment is that the whole dancing it's like evolving, you know? People are getting more educated. So the kids who were listening to EDM 2 years ago, they start going to Marco Carola now and think, oh, this is much. So it's good for the whole scene. And I think in the festivals as well, it's got to be more diverse. So we're going to have more stages and people can choose where to go. And it's a good thing for dance music, I think. Tom Starr. Tom Starr and Steve Angelo, that's by far the two guys. I think they're killing it right now.
Yeah, we play a lot of songs of them, so definitely.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Gregor Salto, and we play a lot of him as well, so you're sharp.
Yeah. Gregor's good, yeah. I mean, if you're on a road, like big cats like Guetta, Afrojack, if you're on a road for like 24 hours and you have tracks and they need to be finished, you have deadlines, of course you work. That's how it started. Before, when you had DJs, there were no DJs producing like 20 years ago. You had the producers and you had the DJs. So when the producers became the artists, that's why the whole ghost producing thing started with it's a new word, ghost producing. But Beyonce, that's I guess ghost producing, if you call it like that. Eminem, Timbaland. I mean, they have like 4 producers working on one track. So what is ghost producing? At the end of the day, Pharrell is a producer, but he has 4 producers. But in the dance scene right now, because the whole new thing, he doesn't make his tracks by himself, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's not cool anymore.
So whatever you're making tracks, I think every artist is involved in making his music, however. So what I would think about it, I don't really care about it actually.
Yeah, well, if we can make our track, if we can make one of our tracks better working with someone else, why wouldn't we do it, right?
Yeah.
So that's why Sunnery is working with me.
He's working with me. No, but I don't think it's negative. I mean, all big artists, they have like 6 producers, so I don't want to judge anyone. You know, I appreciate every artist in the scene, and if young kids talking about ghost producing, they will find out when they get to a point where you're touring. Sometimes you need some people who work with you to get your deadlines. You know? Barcelona is one of our favorite cities, if I can speak for Ryan.
Yeah, for sure.
And we never had a bad experience here, so we just go in and play whatever we like. The
energy is always great here, so you know it's only having fun. It's not working tonight.
Really looking forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hola, soy Sunnery James
Ryan Marciano.
Estás escuchando Found You Music.